Hey y'all, it is July the 20th, 2020. As I put on the live stream title, pretty much I wanted to say, hey, what up? What up, y'all? All my digital friends, my internet friends out there. Some of these stragglers I might come across and stuff, and some of the people who's gonna check out the recording, and I appreciate you. I don't know why, but you dig the style, and I dig your styles actually, so I do know why. We're all connected in that sense. So I'm a little bit late, but I mean, it's kind of informal. I did just want to say, hey, what up? And I really do want to know what's up, all right? Let me know up in the comments. Let me know up in the chat stream. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say what's up, and I was a little bit late today, and I got to say the reason I was late a little bit, 5 minutes, is partially due to this here smoothie that I got in front of me. It's amazing, all right? It's a quail egg smoothie, all right? Quail eggs, that's right. Mm, mm, so good. But I was able to whip it up real quick before the broadcast. I have some stuff that I kind of like, pre-made, prepared and stuff. I was able to whip it up real quick. Got a quail egg smoothie up in here, all right? If you didn't know, for all the vegans might be out there, it's all sort of vitamins. I mean, power pack full of vitamins. And the thing is that I happen to have a quail egg connection, and that's why. I mean, uh, barring something bad happening and stuff, it seems as though I have quail eggs now and into the future. All right. So I made an investment. I said, "Give me them quail eggs, all right? I want the nutrients." That's what I said. And so it seems like I got a quail egg connection. So I thought, you know what? Here's the thing about eggs. I like eggs. And I got a chicken egg connection as well. Um, but they're really big, right? Quail eggs are a little bit smaller and they're power packed full of vitamins, from what I understand. You can look it up and Google it. And they're much. I think they're more better for smoothies and stuff. Man, I'm rocking 3 quail eggs up in my smoothies. Right. Take a little look at this. If you're checking out the visuals, we got Alex Jones broadcast full show. It's probably General Shepard up in the house. I don't know who's these two people. I think I've seen it before. I think they're fear mongering probably. It's ridiculous, but we might talk about that in a second. It's just shout out to General Shepard. I wanted to make this a quick broadcast, and I actually look forward to at least getting a taste. These certain live streams that are going to be going on probably shortly after this broadcast ends. I'm going to make this a short one, but I wanted to bring those to y'all's attention. And of course, there's other things on YouTube that we could talk about, just wandering through YouTube. It's shocking that we're still on YouTube, but it's become kind of a battleground, if you will. You got Carpe Donkto, and he's talking to Roger Stone and stuff. It's just because it's not the only game in town, but it's the biggest, obviously. Everybody goes on to YouTube. It's kind of like put onto your dang Android and stuff. You got applications already. And so it's real easy. They make it real easy. It's kind of like a monopolization, if you will, right? I don't know if you heard about that. Gillum, we're just wandering through YouTube right quick, but I do want to point out certain live streams, and I'll put them out to you in a second. But Gillum talks about struggles with alcoholism. It's so funny. If you do remember Andrew Gillum, if you don't remember him, don't blame you. I really don't. All right. Obviously, it's a milk toast, kind of like a variation of Obama, a little bit darker. All right, but I don't got no problem with that. I assumed he was a homosexual. I don't know that. I do know that that's hate speech. But the thing is, I never said that was a bad thing about him. I just assumed that it was his thing. All right. All sort of scandal. All right. Nothing's proven in a court of law, obviously. It's not going to touch a court of law, but it seems as though, man, I'm not going to go back into it. It's not alcoholism, all right? It's kind of a little bit worse than that. It kind of has a lot to do with his boy Travis and whatever other boys that his boys and stuff that he parties with on yachts. All right, it kind of has a little bit to do more with a, I don't know if you say a harder drug, but a little bit more sexual drug. Biden task force wants to abolish the police and stuff, and that's a doctored photo right there. It's fake news, all right? I made a doctored photo. But I'm pretty sure that is Joe Biden in a mask that just put up an Antifa thing on the front of it. Chief releases video and all this sort of stuff. We got all this sort of stuff, right? But I wanted to point out things in particular. Not only can you catch the War Room, and you can catch Alex Jones show, you can catch David Knight's show and stuff, and all sort of stuff on General Shepherd, and it's just that easy. Just type in General Shepherd, just look for that face, you're gonna get it. Unbannable. It's just unbannable. Dang it. Alright, people messaging me, get the hell out of the way. Alright, but we got also kind of local to Texas. I think he might be somewhere north of here, Dom B podcast, right? And he's pretty good, man. I like his stuff. We don't have time to talk about it too much, but I really like his stuff. Justin Pulliam, all sort of things, right? And these are like, this is more local. For example, Leon Valley. That's not where I'm at, but it's actually a place that I'm pretty familiar with. And this guy, he covers, Justin Pulliam covers, I got a special shout out to Justin Pulliam and stuff, because a lot of people probably won't never hear about him. But Justin Pulliam is very, very popular where he's at in Leon Valley. That's in San Antonio. It's a small town, I guess you would say. And they got their own police force and everything. It's known for having speed traps, and it's known for this and that. I guess it's, local politics like there always is, all right? Justin Pulliam covers that sort of stuff very, very in depth, very thoroughly. Leon Valley Live, Salvaggio viciously attacking political opponents. But, I mean, it's all about local politics when you really think about it. Okay? Before we get out of here and stuff, I just want to stress, man, we like to think about this sort of like tug of war back and forth, Donald Trump, America against people who don't like America and things of that nature. And that is true, but local politics is where we have all the power and stuff. Justin Pulliam's really, really doing it big. All right? And there's other things, but, okay, I do keep an eye on Dave Ramsey, by the way. Just to let you know, because Dave Ramsey's awesome, and he's got a cast of characters like this guy's name, Chris, I think, Chris Hogan. Yeah, he's first of all, Chris Hogan, I love his voice and stuff. I wish he could read books to me and stuff. Got a great voice and good financial advice that'll give y'all. Dave Ramsey and his crew. He's got other people that'll give you some pretty sound, I think, financial advice, and I followed up with them on some of it. Dave Ramsey will be quick to tell you, you got to take it on head on, all right, and save all sort of money and this and that. Get yourself out of debt, all right? And then they also cover controversial things and stuff. Sometimes it's really quite funny. Lionel Nation and stuff. Here's a live stream that I guess is going on live right now, but Real News with Lucretia Hughes. That's one of my favorite of all time, all right? And we find ourselves in a network of all sort of people that you probably already even heard of this lady, or maybe you haven't, because it's such an interwoven web of people. And I gotta let you know though, she's pretty dang popular. She's got 32 people watching on YouTube, but she's also got a following on Facebook and stuff like that. And also there's gonna be people that come through and watch her recording and stuff. Lucretia Hughes puts it down real good. I like it. I like the style of it. It's one of my favorite. If you like that sort of thing, Lucretia Hughes, she covers that local politics. I mean, maybe local and national and international and stuff. She's all over the place, and I like her style. All right, I don't necessarily like this guy's style that much. Dang it, his name's slipping my mind. The leftist media amplify disgruntled employee allegations against Ellen. Oh man, we don't have time to get into all this sort of stuff. But we got a shout out to Lionel Nation and stuff like that. I got all sorts. That's the thing about it. There's all sort of people who just ain't standing for it. And they're still on YouTube, and you still find them there. Person who I disagree with on a lot of stuff is Michael Savage, but yeah, still I like his style a lot of the times. But I can't find him to be gear grinding as well. You got Tiger Carlson out there. I went to a farmer's market, and sometimes I wear shirts for a reason, but sometimes I just wear them because they might be the only shirt that I have left that's clean. And that sort of situation happened this weekend. And when I went out to the farmer's market, I said, you know what, this is a pretty decent shirt. I don't think anybody will trip. So I went out and it said, here's my shirt. It says CNN is fake news. And there was a lady, not to be too long-winded about it, but there was a lady, she's like, that's interesting about your shirt. Why do you say CNN is fake news? I said, because they are fake news. What are you talking about? And she's like, what? She's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And she said, well, what about, she turned to me and she said, what about Fox News? I said, you know what? That's fake damn news. Fox News is fake news. It's over the top fake, and I just can't even believe it. All right, it's beyond. People like Chris Wallace, it's so beyond. All right, if you caught that abomination, we might get to it before we get out of here, but I just wanted to say what's up to y'all and stuff, so we might get to it. There's all sort of abominations that we can go over and stuff, man. But it's just to say that certain things go viral. I gotta say, if you do or do not know about this Chris Wallace interview, it just happened recently with Donald Trump, is which a lot of people can look at it and see a lot of different things, I'm sure. It's gonna cover the whole spectrum. But if I'm being very simple about it, it's Chris Wallace acting like a total biatch, alright? And as far as I know, that's not a curse word, and I can say that. He's acting that way, and it's like, oh God, how so ridiculous. Playing into this whole thing. Playing into this whole thing where everybody's playing and pretending. And you know what I'm talking about. But Anyway, she said, what about Fox News? I said, Fox News is fake news. And then she was like, well, I like your style. And then we both totally agreed, and we had a good time. And she sold me some cookies. I loved it. I love those cookies. You know what I'm saying? But the cookies are going to be my downfall, probably. All right? I just got to let you know. I got to ease up on those cookies. Anyways, Mad Connections thing is Fox News is fake news, but Tucker Carlson is pretty poignant. I like to catch especially his beginning monologues and stuff, but he has some pretty dang climactic debates and stuff. It gets quite heated. Alright, I don't know if we totally missed it, but I'm going to go to my screenshots because I know I do have it on my screenshots. Alright, check it out real quick just to give y'all a heads up. That's a dog, by the way. If you check it out, look, that dog looks like Babe Ruth and it acts like Babe Ruth. I know Babe Ruth in dog form. Wait, where's my screenshots? Alright, I'll get to it. Technical difficulties. But right now, that's not it either. I want to go to my gallery. Make it real simple. Hey, I got Alex Jones broadcast, and I've just been downloading the crap out of them. They're little audio podcasts, so it's like real small. I've just been storing them away. Yeah, I'm not sure why, hoarding them. But they're real small, so, I figure in the future, when all this sort of stuff, people are going to need proof. Oh, we knew the whole time. It was ridiculous. Me and Alex Jones, me and Paul Romano, me and everybody else. And I want to talk about them especially before we get out of here on a spiritual level. All right. So we're gonna end this broadcast for in a little while, to give it 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But we're gonna talk about stuff on a very spiritual level probably before we get out of here. I just wanted to point your attention. I don't even know how to work. I don't know how. All right, screenshots. This should be exactly what I was looking for. There's going to be some live streams that take place right after this. Shout out to Matrix Mark all the time, every time. He's got a saber lesson on the vertical flat earth, and I saw the thumbnail. And gosh, man, I can't wait to see that and check that out. The vertical flat earth, that just seems like it makes much more sense. That's why we're all falling and stuff, man. Right? Because of magnets. Anyway, so I wanted to point out this live stream. This is just another channel, just another Brandon. Of course, he has a website, and of course, you can go to his Teespring and get all sort of shirts and merchandise and mugs. And I'm waiting on a mug right now, actually, to be honest. And this one struck me as very interesting, and I look forward to actually catching a bit of this because I want to know. I've been joking around with people about this boogaloo and stuff. If I say the word boogaloo, a lot of people are like, it just sounds like a very funny word. A lot of people wouldn't know what the hell that is, and a lot of people do. And so I'm trying to get down to the bottom of like how white supremacist it might be. I have a feeling it's not, but these people call themselves the Boogaloo Boys, and I'm seeing there's got Chris, Judah, and Andrew. And technically, although it's misspelled, all those names are biblical names when you think about it. And it's interesting, and they're of a certain persuasion, but I wouldn't say fully white, but they're Boogaloo Boys. And it just so happens they have like an atomic weapon in the background. It's like, I really want to know, because I'm not familiar. And I've been covering things such as Adam Waffen in the past. All these funny names. Y'all can't think of any better names. And I really want to get down to the bottom. Are there people who consider themselves Boogaloo Boys? For example, there's some questions like, are y'all all wearing Hawaiian style shirts? Do you wear the hula or the leis or whatnot? Do you do the hula dance? Probably not, but the thing is, do you wear masks? That guy's wearing a mask. Are y'all in for some sort of racial, I don't know, what does this have to do with? Because you're going to have to put out a statement, basically. If you're going to have a group, that's all I know. If you're going to claim to have a group, you ought to have one of those, like, you know what Black Lives Matters has, like a statement on your statement, your agenda. I would like to know what it is, so I look forward to finding that out. And I wanted to point out this one as well. It's another live stream that's going to take place just tonight, and I don't know what it's about. And I probably won't be able to call in and stuff. You know, I might be able to catch some of it, but I might be at work and stuff. Probably won't be able to call in, but I look forward to it. It says the September-October plan. What is that? I saw from the thumbnails that, now, just to let you know, this is General Shepard, right? And those are the people who's supplying the Alex Jones show. And I know a lot of people don't. It's like, dude, I'm a different person. Just because I like Alex, and I do. I like his style, and I like Owen Schroyer's style, and I like David Knight's style, and there's a lot of people like Harrison Smith, and Savannah Hernandez. All these people, and I like their style. And you can find this out on General Shepard if you wanted to on YouTube, or you can go to band.video, or you can go to newswars.com, or you can go to infowars.com. You can go to all sort of places and find it. It's not been banned. Alright, but I wanted to point out this in particular just because I'm looking forward to it. September, October plan. What is that? I saw that we alluded to it last night in a live stream, but I'm not sure what it's about. Of course, you gotta imagine that's kind of perfect timing. If you were to if you're in regards to, say, the election, if you wanted to make a difference, obviously that's where the term October surprise comes from. It's a lot of times people pull stuff out of hats. All right, little tricks that they had up their sleeves. I don't know what it could be. I don't sign on to it. I need to hear it out, and I want to hear it out. I'm pretty excited about it, to hear it out, and I will endorse it if I feel that it's a good plan. All right, but of course it's definitely going to be big, and that's just especially why I get excited about it, because it has to be big. If you're talking about September, October, we're in July right now, so there's going to be a lot of anticipation built up to whatever this plan is you're talking about, what's going down. And regardless, I think over the next 100 some odd days into the rest of 2020, I get the feeling it's only going to get a little bit more terrifying than it was previously, right? I wanted to point out those live streams, and then I look forward to them. Let's check out Andrew Gillum. Boop. We're not really going to talk so much about Andrew Gillum. Hold on, I'm making space big. We're not going to talk about him very much as we close out this broadcast. But I just wanted to look at him. Anyways, okay. There's all sort of, gibberish and chaos and stuff going on. And of course, we could look at all of it. Alright, that's a good picture. Oh man, wait. I hope it doesn't show my information, right? I got all sort of points. Look, 910 points. Yeah, I buy that stuff. They got all sort of supplements. Not only are they top quality, to be honest, but very, very well priced, and a lot of times they have great sales I take advantage of, and I try to donate if I can. But that's Alex Jones, right? I just wanted to point out a dichotomy. I forget all what we're going to get into before we get out of here, but one of the main points was this dichotomy that I've been noticing. And it's kind of like esoteric. Not everybody knows about it, but if you're into the nitty gritty, you might see people saying things along the line of, like Alex Jones, for example, stand up, shout against this. This is crazy. The masks are Sharia law, and they are. They are satanic ritual, and they are. That's true. Oh man, these guys trying to take over. All this is true, by the way. I mean, I vouch for it. From what I've seen, it is true. And he's like, oh man, this is terrible chaos. It is. He says, oh, we need to fight against it that way. We can give our children something. We don't want to just give them a world of tatters, which is definitely where we're going right now. We don't want to give them a world in which they are all mutants and they live in fear and nobody looks anybody in the eye and everybody's digitally knowing each other and stuff. We don't want to give them Sharia law where they're all afraid to breathe on each other and stuff. It's crazy, but we need to fight against it. And I endorse all that, right? As controversial as that might be. I know sometimes people might look at my InfoWars shirts that I have. They have nice shirts and they feel nice too. Good quality. And you can get the best quality if you wanted to. Made in America if you wanted to. Up in the InfoWarsStore.com. Get the best quality shirts. They're really nice. People might scoff and stuff, but it's like, dude, I endorse it. I endorse the idea of speaking up and fighting back. And I haven't done as much as I want to do. Alex Jones says a lot of the times that he hasn't done as much as he wants to do. And I know I haven't done as much as I want to do, but I have been out in the field before. All right, and I gotta let you know, just so you know, if you're curious, is that it's very fulfilling. And in fact, there's a lot of adrenaline involved, and there's a lot of, you go to sleep like a baby that night, all right? Because, especially if you're out in the sun, you wear yourself out. Sometimes you shot like an eagle and stuff by the highway. It's awesome, all right? But or whatever you're doing, there's a time and a place, and I know that you're gonna meet that time and the place pretty dang soon, where you just step up and you say what it is. You just say the truth, man. People don't like that. People don't like it. But on the other end of this dichotomy that I was alluding to earlier, there's another end. I'm not talking about the Bill Gates end, right? I'm talking the same, the truther movement. I guess I want to get y'all a visual, I guess, in case if you are not familiar. He's very popular, but a lot of people probably don't know him. And he's a perfect example. Let's see, pockets. Let's top pockets. He's a perfect example of the other end of this dichotomy that I wanted to explain. And for example, he's got a video right here. It's one of his recent ones, and he's very prolific, man. He does a good job of entertainment for sure. And I would say he's somewhat of a peace enthusiast and a peaceful enthusiast, and therefore that's why I like him. All right, he's a good he's got an easygoing voice and stuff, and the way he puts out his content, pretty dang good. Right, this one I actually caught earlier, and I guess we could play part of it. But I got the thing is, it's going to be hideous.
Brothers and sisters, this was originally from Chrissy Teigen at
This is
Twitter.
Paul Romano.
She posted this. One of my viewers sent it to me. The video they sent had a goat in it, right? It was
here, check this
done.
out. I don't know how loud this is going to be, but check out. What the hell's that?
Yep.
Check this out one more time.
That happened.
Oh gosh, I just can't even. I couldn't even imagine. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy in the world. All right, and in fact, I love my enemy. I don't know what that is. So bad. Chrissy Teigen, married to John Legend. And it's all sort of controversy, but geez. But Paul Romano, he's pretty good at bringing that sort of content, and he actually has, that's a short video. He'll do long videos, such as this one about Britney drops and the Free Britney movement. That's in regards to Britney Spears and stuff like that. And he covers these Kanye cries, and you might have seen that. He covers all these viral contents and stuff. Kind of breaks it down on a spiritual level. Alright, so, he does that, and he does it pretty dang well. Now, the reason that he's on the other end of this dichotomy that I wanted to break down real quick is that he's very anti-Alex Jones, as a lot of people are, and I don't never discredit anybody for being anti-Alex Jones. But for example, I bet you if you were to ask Paul Romano about Alex Jones, he basically will let you know that he's a shill in a sense. And not really in regards to who he gets paid by, but it's just to say that he's kind of a gatekeeper, I guess you would say, and he's supposed to give us all this information. Not only that, that it's like that's leaked out to us via Alex Jones, but he's there to also get people riled up and frazzled up in a way that they're not exactly being productive or perhaps counterproductive. So he's actually very much like on the other end of this dichotomy, but at the same time, they both point out the very similar type of things, and will lead you to believe if they had a conversation with each other, it would actually be pretty dang entertaining, probably to say the least. But he's anti-Alex Jones for that reason, and also one of the main sentiments. He's definitely someone who I'd recommend. Almost 200,000 subscribers. Real peaceful dude, very calming. But he would say that, all this was going on, this chaos. It's like, dude, it's hard to imagine anybody on the internet who buys into this mask deal. Now, I know it's some coronavirus. I'm not debating whether or not it exists. I'm saying it's everywhere. And it's just on everything. Like, you might as well get over it. But with this whole chaos and just people who would lose their shit, their whole top would pop. If they ever heard me say that, they'd be like, oh, you're trying to murder all our grandmas. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. In fact, I don't come into contact with nobody's grandmas. And my grandmas have both been long gone for a long, long time and stuff. So nobody asked me about that. But the thing is, I'm not trying to, it's like, dude, these masks are Sharia law. And everybody all my internet friends know it. Shout out to Unwrapped by Brenda and stuff, man. If I was more consistent with my work, Brenda would probably be here, but she's probably working late hours. That's my very dear co-host, and thing is, so we all see through it. It's a satanic ritual and stuff, man. Y'all all buying into it and stuff, and it doesn't even help your health. In fact, it hinders your health. And in fact, everybody's playing and pretending. That's the thing about it. We're months and months into it, and what I can guarantee you is that every single person, to exclude not one person, on Earth and in America, are absolutely playing and pretending, right? Regardless. And they might look at me and say, oh, you're negating whether or not this virus exists. No, I'm saying you're playing and pretending. If this was a deadly thing that's about to get all of us, or kill all of our grannies and grandpappies, then wouldn't they all be dying right now? Like, I've not heard of anybody, and y'all are drumming up the numbers. I have no reason to believe, and I've had no reason to believe y'all saw some damn dirty liars on other accounts too. And so now we're all on that level. There's some people out there who's actually playing and pretending. It's all political. It's very much political. If they were scientific at all, they would realize that these masks are just not working. They're completely ineffective. They're like, oh, we need to contain this disease. This virus that in which y'all are claiming to get thousands of positives in any major city. Y'all are getting hundreds to thousands, depending on the size of the city, positive cases every single day. Okay? You're trying to say that this bandanas around our face or whatever, all these different masks is containing something. It's literally containing nothing in front of everybody's eyes. It's like, can we not state reality? For as epic and baller as the Donald Trump, I gotta say, shout out to Donald Trump. He's doing what he can do, and he is doing something against this whole BS, right? I don't know if he's doing as much as he can. I don't know. I'm doing as much as I can. All I know is that, we better step it up. Thing is, absolutely a hoax. And let's say this thing is super deadly. Well, everybody's half-assing it. What you need to do if it is super deadly is stay your ass in the house. You should have already gotten all sort of food supplies and stuff like that with your surplus Donald Trump bucks and stuff like that. Why are you going out to anywhere, to include the hardware store, to include the grocery store? You shouldn't be going out to any of these places because you're going to fall over and die, right? Remember, you said you're so weak that you're going to do it. But I'm over here saying that I don't really care about it because I'm drinking these Quell smoothies and I'm actually doing these things that, I have reason to believe that are pretty good for my health, to include getting as much rest as possible. And I don't want to wear the mask, and I'm not going to. It's ridiculous. See, both these entities, just to get off the topic of Paul Romano, Alex Jones, that kind of dichotomy, um, I think they're both I think they're crucial, both of them at the same time, and they're disagreeing with each other. Paul Romano's big sentiment is that this chaos that we're experiencing is going to happen regardless. And I know sometimes Alex Jones would agree with him on that sentiment. And the thing is, I agree with Paul Romano on that sentiment as well. It's an avalanche. It's going to take us down with it. And it's so absurd and it's so perverted and it's so perverse and it's so blasphemous and it's so just unreasonable. It's so unsuccessful. It's so full of carnage. It's so full of destruction. It's so full of senseless hate mongering, fear mongering, and all this sort of stuff. That's what we're noticing out there, and it's an avalanche. It's gonna take. So Paul Romano's thing is that it has to come. Meaning, we've built bubbles on economically speaking. We've built all this sort of stuff on fiat, not only financially but like spiritually. And there's a reckoning just because. I mean, dang, dude, we caught us slipping and tripping. And I'll admit to it, all throughout the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, and so on, I've seen and participated in some slipping and tripping, morally speaking, in a moral, spiritual sense. So it's like a total carnage that's about to take place. And so Paul, okay, just to put it real simple, what I see it as is Paul is like, can't fight against it, bro. You just can't fight against it. In fact, I think he copyrighted the term apocalypse. Because when he's always talking about the apocalypse, but it's kind of funny. And says that it's kind of funny, right? And I have a feeling Paul would agree with me, but who's to say? But I would say that it's kind of funny when you look at, say, all the calamity that's going on. Sometimes it is kind of funny, right? Sometimes it's very violent and tragic, and behind the scenes, so much more tragedy happens and stuff. Just in your neck of the woods and my neck of the woods and all of our backyards, man, all sort of stuff's happening that's just you wouldn't want to believe. I'm here to promise you, especially in San Antonio, Texas. But see all the stuff where people are acting wild and they just we want to call them all sort of things like selfish or just stupid or ignorant or greedy or all these hateful words. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a reflection of all the things that we are, man. That's what we are on a personal level. I can't speak for you, but myself. I've seen myself do those sort of things. I've seen myself in the past do these things, and I didn't understand, and I was doing them, and the problem was that I thought I understood them at the time. Meanwhile, I was making a complete damn fool out of myself. And then I look back on it and say, damn, dude, how did I not know any better at the time? It's just because it wasn't revealed to me. I had no way of knowing any better, basically. And sometimes I had to go through it the hard way, I guess you would say. All right. So, just wanted to bring up that that's how these people are acting out here. All these people, you might call them zombies and stuff like that. And these Democrat people and their Black Lives Matters people, and they're wearing masks and they're shouting in your face and they're doing all sort of stuff. They're painting all sort of murals and knocking down statues, Antifa and all this. You look at them and say, oh, it's the enemy. Yeah, technically it is the enemy. And I would agree with you, but that's the Alex Jones sentiment. Hey, these people are the enemy. They hate America and they hate everything else, right? Globally, as you can see, if you believe in the globe or on the vertical flat earth, wherever it is that you go, they're going to hate where you come from. Okay? They're going to hate your history. They're going to hate your culture. They're going to tell you that they hate you and everything about you. And in fact, in America, they'll teach you to hate yourself. All right? They'll teach you to hate your own ancestors, which I'm pretty sure is unprecedented. All right? So, I would say that, yeah, it is going to happen, and for good reason. All this destruction and chaos. We should look at it and observe it. Observe all these people acting wild, right? And of course, not making anybody proud out there, doing all sort of violence and destruction in the streets. And I understand they're still doing it in Seattle and other various places. So it's like, dude, what else do you have to destroy in Seattle? And they're burning down more. They're burning down the cop precinct again, or all sort of stuff, right? But the reason we're seeing all this, you might ask yourself, why are we seeing all this? I think, as I said before, but I think it's just to give us more of an insight. We look at that and see, wow, they're acting like creature animals. It's not to say that they are. We consider them human beings, but they're acting like creature animals. And you can bet your bottom dollar that that's how you're gonna act. That's how I'm gonna act. We're both going to act that exact same way if in fact we start buying into all these lies that they bought into a long time ago. They bought into the lies so hard, and that's why they act the way that they do, because they can't see anything. They don't know what's in front of their nose. They can't see what they're doing. And at the same time, neither can we, right? Neither can we. We act like animals, right? It's preposterous, but we do. And we don't have to, because if you step back and look at it and see that everybody is like human beings and everybody deserves the right to say some stuff. You don't have the right to break all the laws. You don't have the right to make up your own laws whenever you want to. You don't have the right to terrorize people. You don't have the right to put people under Sharia law because your so-called pseudoscience, so you and Bill Nye and everybody else, you don't have the right to do that because that's against God's law. Yeah, that's right. The God that invented and created all of us on an individual basis. Right? And I know you don't. I mean, all my internet buddies out there, that's how we feel and stuff. And they don't like it. You know, and so it just causes me to naturally be against that sort of thing and stuff. Man, I've seen what it is. I've seen what it is, alright? And I don't know what exactly note that we want to get off on. It's just to say that, you know, I think it's important in that dichotomy to understand, yeah, this is an avalanche. If you fight against it too hard, too frantically, I think that it might also be in vain, just because you might become the abyss. What is that, Nietzsche? I'm not sure what it is, but you stare into the abyss and you become it. I do believe that that's true, man. We gotta turn around and know what's the truth, alright? And really drive it home and stuff. There's points in time in history, back in history, in which, oh man, Leah L's up in the building. Hey, what's up, Leah L? I wanted to bring it back to actually a video that I seen recently. I know that people were talking about it today and over the past couple of days. I wanted to talk about it last night, Leah, but I actually passed out. Like, I have crazy hours. I just want to say real briefly, I'm all up in the Twilight Zone. How you're up in the Twilight Zone? I feel you, and I feel your pain, Leah. And at the same time, I'm even more so because I work overnight, and then I also work during the day too. Like, and I do get enough rest, but it's just like I live in a Twilight Zone, dude. Like, I don't even know. Sometimes I wake up, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what time of day it is. I don't know what I'm about to do. I wake up completely like, what the world? So that's what I've been doing and stuff. And I gotta say, you know, of course, all sort of updates that I haven't been able to keep y'all abreast of and stuff. And I might talk with y'all about it later. But so what? So aggravating? Yeah, Leah, it's kind of aggravating. Okay, so that's what we were talking about. This dichotomy. You know, you can check back on the recording if you wanted to, but just real basically, there's that dichotomy of we know it's the truth. They got the Sharia law on us. They're trying to force it on us. It's a nanny state. It's full of Karens, and everybody's trying to turn us in. The police, from what I've seen, don't even like this. And have not been enforcing, from where I'm at, they haven't been enforcing any of this sort of nonsense BS, right? So we're all against it, but as we're against it, it is going to overtake us, and it's going to overwhelm us, and it's going to get a lot worse because they back down and they bow down. I wasn't sure what exact note that we wanted to leave off on. I think we're going to just riff it. But it kind of reminds me, it always brings me back to a particular situation of ignoring a pending problem. Here, I'll tell you about it in a second, but I think it's important to stand against it while we can, all right? While this avalanche happens, and it is going to happen, and for good reason. And I have reason to believe through all sort of this and that, scripture and just everything else. I got the feeling that we're going to come out much, much better on the other end. However, we're going to go through kind of a nightmare. And I would advocate for the fact is that in lots of ways we deserve it, right? Because there's been a lot of people, to including especially the children, who've absolutely been just brutalized. They've been like traumatized on a whole. It's like it's completely absurd, right? All the stories that we never heard about of these children coming up missing and stuff like that. And it just seems like we're all living in a machine that kind of facilitates that sort of thing. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Kind of it is. In a half a sense it is, I would say, but at the same time, not necessarily, right? Because we're not all trying not to do that. It's just that we haven't known the truth the way that we're coming across the truth right now and stuff. It's just going to happen. But the thing is, while we look at these people, as Twetlia L was saying, I feel you, because you look at them and you get very aggravated, so aggravated. You look at them and say, oh God, Chrissy Teigen, why you do that? Why you do that? Why you keep doing that? Why? It's like you just keep doing that, and you keep infringing on everybody around you. You're a narcissist, probably. Now you're infringing on everybody on the Instagram and on Twitter, and you're trying to tell everybody what to do and stuff. And it's just like, it's very aggravating. But we're being shown this. It's all for a reason. We're being shown it. Why? So that we can see it. Okay, and so you're seeing it. I'm seeing it too. And I'm digesting it. That is us. We are that. This is a kind of animal creature. And she's a human being. She's my sister and I love her. Chrissy Teigen, you turn into this badger if you wanted to. I get kicked off of YouTube simply for those terms. And it's no good. You don't want to do all that. And that's the reason why you should also not get mad at them and stuff, because aggravation will grow into just disdain, perhaps into hatred. Maybe all those things are the same thing. That's how far we can fall. That's just God showing us that, look, this is how far you can fall. I'll have you fall like this. All right. There's one particular video that I wanted to get a glimpse of before we get out of here, and it's about time that we do get out of here, because I have a little bit of stuff to do before I get on. Like I said, there's some live streams going on, and I'll look forward to them. And he got Kanye crying and stuff, and that's awesome. He was talking about some stuff, and trust me, it was deep. He was going off, and they say he's bipolar. They're gonna say all sort of things about him, right? I wanted to check out this video, and I should have put it on a playlist, but I know a lot of people have been talking about it. And just describe it if you've seen it. It was the Black Lives Matters mural in New York. While we take a look and we check to see who is talking about it, it was a Black Lives mural in New York, and it was kind of by Trump Tower, if I understand correctly. All down the street, Black Lives Matters, and it's all kind of ridiculous because it's just murderous. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's hate speech, but its intent is to be murderous towards everybody else. It's all backhanded in a sense, man. It's all passive aggressive. Oh, Black Lives Matters, and none of y'all's life matters. No matter who it is, your life doesn't matter. And people out there, they're wearing masks that coincide with Black Lives Matters. You're wearing a Black Lives Matters mask. That means to choke yourself in public because your life doesn't matter. It's like all these people playing and pretending. These masks are irresponsible at best. If it was a huge virus going on, you would be irresponsible for wearing these masks out everywhere. This is wild. That we got to get up out of here. But this was, if you hadn't heard about that, this was wild. There was a fatal attack on the judge. Apparently, this judge presiding over all this Epstein stuff. Epstein and other people, perhaps. What's her name? Ghislaine. I couldn't say. But over here, this lady, she's presiding over some Epstein stuff, and then she just got, I would say, an assassination attempt or some serious threats. Basically, they went and killed her son. They ran up in her house, shot her son, and you gotta understand, it's just super professional. It's absolutely paramilitary came in, and you gotta wonder where this judge goes from now. But they put her husband in the hospital too, shot him up, killed her son. That's what we got going on right now. It's basically a civil war, whether we like it or not, right? And while all that civil war stuff's going on, I just want to stress it might be sometimes it gets lost in all the jibber jabber, but I want to stress that you could back away from all the news and not listen to any of the news, and I don't think it would even matter very much. Right? It's really not all that important, even though it is wild and stuff. And technically speaking, it does show where the culture is going and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't see anybody talking about the particular lady. We'll just leave it on Kayleigh McEnany as we get up out of here. Aesthetically, I'm not going to get into it, but I like it. I appreciate it. Thing is, I want to talk about those ladies, and you hadn't seen it. It's hard to find. And I know if I searched it on YouTube that they would be BSing me. But they poured paint all over the Black Lives Matters mural. And these were black people, by the way. They were black ladies, and they were very black, and it's like they were beautiful ladies. I don't know why anybody would have a problem, but they were like pouring paint all over it and basically calling out for a fraud that it is. It's ultra communist. It is against the family. It's against Christianity, and you can find that out on their website. All right, and they wound up getting arrested, and black people wound up hating on these black people, and they wanted them arrested, and they wanted all sort of. They probably wanted them to give them. See, these Black Lives Matters people, they want to defund the police, and they make that publicly known. They want to pretty much abolish the family system and just totally install transgender society. That's what it seems like. But you had black people shouting them down, saying, "Oh, they're hateful just because they're like disgracing y'all's little monument." And then they were calling out, just to be real brief, to Jesus, right? And saying, "No, on behalf of Jesus, this mural's an abomination because basically it's passively aggressively and trying to intimidate all other races." And oh, you're saying that you're not doing that. Yeah, you're doing that. And in fact, you're killing all sort of people, to include little children who are black. Right? And I'm not even talking about the abortions, obviously, that are all over the place. I'm talking about you shooting them during your rallies. Them getting shot up. Right? I would appreciate that. And just to get up out of here, Kayleigh McEnany explains why Trump is restarting coronavirus briefings, and I look forward to that. I do look forward to it just because I'm at a certain point, as you probably are, as Leah L is. And shout out to Leah L. I appreciate you out there. We're going to get on out of here. But where you're just like, oh, I'm so tired of the playing and pretending. Even to the point is where it seems like Donald Trump, and I know, it's like you could look at the Chris Wallace interview and be like, Donald, there's a little bit more you could say about it. I don't know that there is. I know that's what we would say about it is a little bit more, but I don't know that he could say that all necessarily. However, he does need to say it, and I mean sooner than later. I mean, the clock is really ticking. This stuff is a sham hoax, this and that. We got indictments. We're looking in. We're investigating because China, this and that. We got reason to believe. We're kind of concerned. We got some leakers and stuff. We got to find out. You're gonna have to do that quick because the thing is, the fatalities are going down. There is all sort of fraud all over the place. And are you gonna sweep it under the rug? I think it's too big to sweep under the rug. It's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, because not only are people adapted to wearing a mask and all this, all right, and they're cool with it. If you wanted certain people to wear masks for the next 20 years, they'll do it. They'll do it real quick, just as soon as you ask them, and take away all their rights, all their kids' rights, and they'll do it in the name of their children and safety and all this other stuff. But it's causing just a rift in society in which, God, man, some people are becoming hermits like myself. I don't even want to go to stores. Some of these restaurants are starting like, I go to restaurants and stuff, man, and now I don't even want to go there because they keep wearing these masks, dude. I'm tired of seeing y'all in masks. It's like, dude, I'm over here breathing in natural air, living a healthy lifestyle, drinking quail egg smoothies, and you're over here breathing in this mask. air all day, and it's aggravating to me because it's like looking at myself, and I see myself in you. I see how afraid that you must be. Either that or you're at work and you have to do it because you're afraid that you'll get fired if you don't do it. And it's all sort of fear, and I see the fear that would be in myself. And I can't even blame you because you need this job so bad. They've totally wrecked our economy. They're doing it on purpose. All right, so when it comes to the Donald Trump briefings, and when it comes to Kelly McEnany, I think they need to pretty much emphasize real soon, because that's the thing. The people in the mass are feeling the same way, especially the ones that go to work and stuff. They're just like, and it's always their sentiment. Why don't we just wear them? Because we need to. Why don't you want to respect people? You want to kill old people? Everybody's dying. And that's their line of reasoning. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not happening. But now they're looking at us like hateful. Like, look at that breather over there. He's just breathing. Look at it. He's breathing in and out. Not a care in the world. And they want to crack down on us, and they will crack down on us very hard. And the thing is, the school year, that starts before the election. All right, the school year is going to be calamity, as you might already understand. And either you come out and just lay it out the way we all know that it's true, or you don't. And that'll prove to be a disaster, I would imagine. Jail time news. Leah L came on. We got to get up out of here, but I wanted to check out what Leah L has talked about before we get up out of here. Get this out of here, man. I don't want to see this. Look, it says, I have backed away. I love the family. Unite. Exactly. It's good, right? Back away. And all this jibber jabber. It's like, nah. And I'm figuring out ways that me personally to get away from all the people who like wearing this sort of stuff, who like going out like this. I'm finding, and just getting away from all the news. Mass kills freedom, obviously, because that is Sharia law, all right? And I wonder how many. I don't hang out with immigrants. There's, as far as Sharia law goes, right? Used to do that in the Middle East man, we don't have time to get into it. It's Sharia law, but okay. Leah L says jail time in the news. We're gonna need serious repercussions. All right, and that's the thing. If there are no serious repercussions, I'm not saying for who, and I'm not saying a noose, although I am kind of saying, yeah, a noose. If there's not serious repercussions, well, then we've been totally sold out, and our children have been sold out, and we're all facing utter destruction, economically speaking. All right, and I love you too, Leah L. We gotta get up out of here, and I appreciate you, my co-host for tonight. You're the best, and anyways, I gotta get up out of here. It's July the 20th, 2020, and I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. Especially, we gotta get the call-in show. Trust me, there's developments. I'll talk to you about it next time. I appreciate y'all. I'll holler at y'all. Love